The NASCAR Canadian Tire Series has arrived at Kawartha Speedway for the final round of the championship. After a season of testing their skill on challenging road courses and oval tracks, the drivers are as anxious as we are to find out who the next NASCAR champion will be.
In 2008, Canada's best late model stock car drivers dazzled motor racing fans nationwide as each searched for personal triumph and an opportunity to be called champion. On the way, some have pushed themselves to the limit with often dramatic results, while others have taken the steady, controlled route. And while the approach may vary, each has made major sacrifices for the chance to be crowned champion. However, one driver, one team stood out from the rest. Race after race, lap after lap, the number 22 Dodge was always there. Scott Steckley has had a stranglehold on the Castrol points chase from the start. However, here at Kawartha, Don Thompson Jr. can topple the perennial points leader. Tonight, the chase is on, because tonight, a champion will be crowned. Welcome to the 13th and final round of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. We're at Kawartha Speedway in Fraserville, Ontario for the Dodge Dealers of Ontario Ram 250. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this outstanding 3/8 of a mile banked oval complex. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Billy Rouse Jr. and Todd Lewis's trackside. Billy, we've talked about it all season long. The sheer dominance of the 22 crew and driver Scott Steckley, and what a season he's having.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. They've been the team to beat. Their communication's been fantastic. 4 wins, 5 top 5s, most laps led, most money in his pocket, but the engines have let him down a couple times, and that's been his Achilles heel. He's now in a tight race when we go to this final event.
Absolutely. He had a chance to clinch at Riverside Speedway, was a little bit nervous going into that one, and he did have motor trouble. Finished in the unlucky 13th position. Don Thompson Jr., of course, went on to the win, and that shakes up the Castrol points chase. Thompson is now just 67 markers behind Steckley heading into this final event. Now, Andrew Ranger did have a mathematical chance at catching Steckley, but he chose to race at Kansas instead this weekend. And while we talk a little bit about this championship, we have to touch on a past champion as well, Peter Gibbons, who's getting ready to start his final race here tonight.
Oh, very much so. Peter rewrote the record books. In 1994, he joined us with Nascar. He's had 27 wins, 2 championships, just a great sportsman, a heck of a wheelman to boot, and it's going to be sad to see next year without that number 1 car in the field.
And he definitely will be a candidate for the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. Well, Peter and the rest of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series took to the track just a short time ago for qualifying time trials. It's no surprise, the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. once again time trials the fastest in the home hardware Chevy at a time of 18.190 for an average speed of 74.217. And with more on 2 drivers who can win a championship here tonight, let's throw it down trackside to Todd. Todd?
Thanks, Dave. You're right. Here's what it takes for Don Thompson Jr. to win a championship. He's got to win the race, lead the most laps, and hope that Scott Steckley finishes 14th or worse. Donnie, on the pole, as we've seen you a lot this season. Some things are in your control tonight if you run a good race, but then you got to hope for a little luck, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure. Home hardware Chevy's been good all year. You know, even if we come up a bit short, that's life. I got to thank the crew, of course, the sponsor, and John Fitzpatrick, the car owner. But we're just going to do the best we can. That's all we can do. And, we'll see what happens with Scott. But if he wins it, congratulations to them. But, hey, we're going to go for it.
Don Thompson will be going for that championship. So, too, will the points leader, Scott Steckley, who will start alongside, of course, on the front row. His strategy, though, a little bit different. Scott, you didn't have the reliability that you wanted in our last event. That motor underneath we know is solid. Are you approaching this race any differently than you have this season?
We got a great motor in the car. We're approaching it differently than we're not going for the win. We want to run up front all day. We want to stay out of trouble. We're going for a top 5, but the main thing is to finish this race.
Scott Steckley hoping to finish this race with a good finish and secure a championship. When we come back, we'll get the championship decided and we'll get the race underway.